Good morning. Happy Monday. It is day 4 of the 21 Tara Sadhana that we're doing in honor of Arya Tara in the Mount Shasta Goddess Temple. It's her month. March is when we observe our devotions to Tara. And this year we're doing this daily gathering from 8:30 to 9 Pacific time so that we can connect with the 21 forms of Tara. I'm getting the information about these particular 21 forms from the Tara Mandala website, which is where I received my Tara initiation and studied. I'm not an official teacher of Tara Mandala. I'm just benefiting from the information and very grateful that I had the opportunity to study and receive my Tara empowerment there. So today it is number 4, Tsugtor Namgyalma. Now, Namgyalma means victorious female, like gyal is victorious, almost like a queen or a leader. There's kind of like an implication that you are the one who is in charge. And when we have the affix ma on it, it's ma is for mother, goddess, female. So the word tsugtor means top knot. That's the bun that you see sometimes people wearing in certain lineages of Tibetan Buddhism. Obviously, you often see with monks and nuns that they shave their heads, but gods and goddesses and also people will have long hair. And in fact, in some sects, cutting your hair is considered to be a bad idea. So, and not only that, actually, I'll just go a little further to say it's not only that there are certain lineages in which cutting your hair is forbidden. There's also certain astrological days when you can cut your hair or when you shouldn't cut your hair. So hair and the energy of hair and the way hair is depicted, like if hair is done up in a top knot, that means achieving enlightenment. If half the hair is up and the other half is streaming down, that usually means that the person is partially enlightened and partially keeping a foot here in this world or has human roots. Good morning, Joanne. And if the hair is all down, that usually means more like a wild yogini or wild practitioner who's out in nature with the nature spirits. So there's all different ways that hair is depicted in Tibetan iconography. So when you look at pictures of Tibetan Buddhist deities, pay attention. Is the hair all up in a top knot? Is half of it up and half of it down? Is it streaming upwards and out, forming like a corona? Or is it hanging down the back? All of those things have different meanings in the depiction in tankas and sacred art. The tsugtor is the top knot of the teacher. So basically, Tsugtor Namgyalma is the glorious, victorious one wearing the top knot who is teaching us the methods of enlightenment. And another word for this particular form of Tara is Ushnisha Vivaya. Ushnisha Viyaya, not Vivaya, Viyaya. Ushnisha Viyaya, which is like the glorious dawn, the coming of light. So this is a golden Tara. She is a benevolent Tara. She's not wrathful. She's very peaceful. Her face is sweet and at peace. She doesn't have little pointy teeth. Sometimes they have little pointy teeth when they're wrathful or semi-wrathful. And she emanates from the crown chakra of the Buddha or from Prajnaparamita. So this is a Tara who emerges from the enlightenment of the Buddha or emerges from the mother of the Buddhas. She is victorious over all non-virtue and all afflictive emotions. The Utpala flower that she holds at her left ear has a vase of immortality that radiates light in the 10 directions. And the 10 directions are north, northeast, east, southeast, south, southwest, west, northwest, above, and below. This light that radiates in the 10 directions transforms the radiant essence of samsara and nirvana into nectar that fills her vase. Really important. So her light takes all of samsara, that is this earthly realm that we live in, where we encounter problems, where people are suffering, where there's difficulty, wars, etc. And then she also takes the realms of nirvana, that is the heavenly realms, the realms of the deities, and she mixes them in her vase. This is why she is such a pure being. This is why she's the coming of the dawn, the coming of the light, because to bring together and understand that there is no difference between heaven and earth, that there is no difference between this realm and the Buddha realm, that there's no difference between an average person and a Buddha. At the end of the day, all of us are one light. And that's why she radiates out from Prajnaparamita. The mother of the Buddhas is the oneness light, the matrix that gives rise to all phenomena, both enlightened and unenlightened. So when we're working with this number 4 Tara, Tsugtor Namgyalma, one of the reasons why she dispels our lesser afflictive emotions is because when we come to realize, no matter what, that person who just cut us off in traffic, that boss we don't get along with, that partner who did something that bothered us, the friends who, left us out when they went out to dinner or something. Once we realize that even those people, even those beings are divine, when we look around and we see filth and dirt and, plastic and the oceans, plastic in the ocean and oil fields and all that, even all that is divine. All of it arises from the same matrix and will dissipate into the same matrix. We can afford to then dissolve the negative feelings out into that wisdom matrix, understanding that at the end of the day, ultimately, all of it is oneness light. It doesn't mean that relatively in the individual, we don't experience these things as distressing, as very real. It means that every distressing, very real thing that we experience in this relative existence as this one relative being dissolves in ultimately the force of energetic awareness. So it gives us somewhere to go with these afflictive emotions. So let's chant in this form of Tara and her golden light and her top knot and ask her to teach us. We're going to do 108 recitations now of Om Tare Tam Soha quickly and just move through that, which is if you think of it this way, there's a lotus. From the lotus emerges the syllable Tam. The Tam turns into every form of Tara. And then we have, after that, we're going to do 108 recitations of her mantra, which is Om Tare Tutare Ture Ayur Date Brum Soha. So we'll do that, and then we'll close with Om Tare Tutare Ture Soha. So we're going to do 324 recitations of mantras now. Let's get into it. 108 recitations of Om Tare Tam Soha, envisioning the lotus and Tara springing to life from the lotus. Om Tare Tam Soha, 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 Tare Tam Soha, Om 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 Tare Tam Soha. Tam Soha, Om Tare 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 Tam Soha. Tham soha, tare 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 tam soha, tare tam soha, tare tam soha, tam soha, tare 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 tam so, tare tam soha, tare tam soha, tare tam soha. Soha, tare tam 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 tare tam soha, 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 soha, tare tam 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 so, tare tam soha, 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 tare tam soha. Soha, tare tam 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 soha. Tare tam soha, 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 tare tam soha. Tare tam soha, tare tam soha, tare tam soha, tare tam soha, tare tam soha. And as we do that chanting, you might notice that sometimes I'm chanting out and sometimes I'm breathing in. I need to breathe. So do you. But also, when we're chanting, actually to breathe the chant in is just as beneficial as to send it out. So if you have to breathe, you can breathe in on the chant and then go ahead and resume. It's okay to breathe. Now, the other thing I wanted to say is you may have noticed that when I'm chanting these individual Tara mantras, I start them out a little slower and then they gain momentum. And that's partially, and sometimes that means they change cadence. Sometimes that is because I myself have to just wrap my tongue around it. But also, it's because when you're chanting, how do I want to put it? Sometimes something else takes over and you're chanting. And if you've ever listened to like a group of Buddhist nuns or monks chanting and you hear that incredible cadence, like that, and it just goes and goes and goes, and you're like, when are they breathing? What's going on? Well, it's because not everybody breathes at the same time. It's because people are still chanting as they're breathing, and because these syllables have a creative cadence in our world. These syllables are not just something we hear. These syllables create a reality vibrationally. And so, as you're chanting, one of the ways that you sort of know that you're tapping into it is if all of a sudden it's almost like you come to from the chanting and you realize that you were effortlessly chanting it faster and more rhythmically, especially if you weren't trying, especially if it just sort of happens. That's the ideal. And I can chant for years and never have that feeling with some mantras. Some mantras are easier and harder than others. Some attune to us easier than others. We're all different. So we're going to try this one together. And this one is Om Tare Tutare Ture Ayur Date Brum Soha. And typically with one like this, it'll go Om Tare Tutare Ture Ayur Date Brum Soha. Yeah, so that the place that's going to be difficult is between ture and ayur. Om tare tu tare ture ayur date. That's where we have the potential of like losing it, because we're pretty familiar by now with om tare tu tare ture. That's pretty common. But then ayur date brum soha. So let's start slowly and see if we can't build over the course of this recitation. Om tare ture ayur date brum soha. 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 Ture ayur date brum soha. Om tare ture date ture ayur date brum soha. Om tare 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 ture ayur date brum soha. Ture ayur date brum soha. Om tare ture ayur date brum soha. Om tare ture ayur date brum soha. Om tare ture ayur date brum soha. Ture ayur date brum soha. Om tare 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 ture ayur date brum soha. Ture ayur date brum soha. Om tare 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 ture ayurrate 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 brum soha. Om tare ture ayurrate. Om tare ture date ayur brum. Om tare ture ayurrate brum soha. Om tare ture ayurrate brum soha. Well, we had a decent flow and then some hiccups, which is natural. We're not always used to it. All right, so now let's go through one more round of recitations. We're going to do triumphantly Om tare ture soha. 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 Victory over afflictive emotions. Om tare ture soha. 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 Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Soha. Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Soha. Om Tare Tu Re Soha. Om Tare Tu 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 Re Soha. Om Tare Tu 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 Re Soha. Om Tare Tu 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 Re Soha. Om Tare Tu 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 Re Soha. Om Tare Tu 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 Re Soha. Om Tare Tu 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 Re Soha. Om Tare Tu 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 Re Soha. Om Tare Tu 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 Re Soha. Om Tare Tu 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 Re Soha. Om Tare Tu 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 Re Soha. Om Tare Tu 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 Re Soha. Om Tare Tu 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 Re Soha. Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Soha. Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Soha. Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Soha. Om Tare Ture Soha. Om Tare Tutare Ture Soha. Om Tare Tutare Ture Soha. Om Tare Tutare Ture Soha. Om Tare Ture Soha. Om Tare Tutare Ture Soha. Om Tare Tutare Ture Soha. Om Tare Tutare Ture Soha. Om Tare Ture Soha. Om Tare Tutare Ture Soha. Om Tare Tutare Ture Soha. Om Tare Tutare Ture Soha. Om Tare Ture Soha. Om Tare Tutare Ture Soha. Om Tare Tutare Ture Soha. Om Tare Tutare Ture Soha. Om Tare Ture Soha. Om Tare Tutare Ture Soha. Om Tare Tutare Ture Soha. Om Tare Tutare Ture Soha. Om Tare Ture Soha. Om Tare Tutare Ture Soha. Om Tare Tutare Ture Soha. Om Tare Tutare Ture Soha. Om Tare Ture Soha. Om Tare Tutare Ture Soha. Om Tare Tutare Ture Soha. Om Tare Tutare Ture Soha. Om Tare Ture Soha. And let's dedicate the merit. May the merit of this practice and all of my activities be of endless benefit to all beings in all realms, beginningless and endless. May all obstacles be overcome and suffering cease at the sound of liberation. May all beings be free from suffering and its causes. May all beings have happiness and its causes. May we carry the essence of Tara in our hearts. Om Tare Tutare Ture Ayur Tate Brum Soha. And we will be back for this practice tomorrow at the same bat time, same bat channel. And we'll be paying homage to Tara number 5. This is Tara Rikjelamo, who is also known as Kurukule. And I'm not objective about this one. I love this Tara. And tomorrow you'll see why. See you tomorrow. And if you're going to tune in for Guanyin practice, we're getting off this video and we're going to start a new one because they go on different playlists.